and welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and in this video we are going to be taking a tour around Alma, Missouri. This is a map by Salabuki. It is a map that was previously in FS25. In fact, I played the version of this map in 22, and this does not look the same. This is a completely different layout for the main yard. So looking at, I drove the car or the vehicle I'm going to be using to drive around this map over here, and this does look like a very different map. It has been completely remodeled for FS25, and I'm really liking it. I'm liking the changes to this. We've got a lot of animals available here in the main farm. We've got chickens over this way here. We've got this absolutely massive grain silo set up on here, which is incredible. We've got other animals over here. In fact, before we do this, let's head back to the house quickly. We need to have a look at the PDA on here and see what this map has in the way of fields and everything, and then we'll jump in the car and we'll have a drive around here, because this yard is actually quite big, and so I think we'd be best off driving around and having a look. So looking at the PDA, you immediately get a sense of what this map is all about. This is a big equipment, big farming map. The main farm here is massive. The fields here are all massive. In fact, I think the most expensive field is 22 at just under $1 million. No, in fact, there we go. 30 at 1.3 million is the most expensive field on here. Massive field, but none of these fields, unlike a lot of American maps, are rectangle. You know, there's no square edges on this map at all. This is a very odd shaped field map, which I really like. I think is fantastic. It has been something that I had trouble with when I was playing with it, this map in 22, especially the way field 1 juts into field 9 here. But I do love this map for its odd shaped fields. It has some of the most interesting field shapes I've seen in any mod map for Farming Simulator 25 or before that. So, yeah, we've got some pretty big fields on here. Smallest fields, though, I think we're probably looking at 12 over here at 29,000. But it's not the only one that's a smallish field. We've got 38,000 on field 14. We've got 41,000 on field 40. So if you're looking to start with smaller equipment and build your way up, there is a range of field sizes on here, and you can build your way up on this map. And in fact, there are 2 other yards on this map that you have to purchase ahead of actually using them. One of them being Farmland 33 down here, which has a nice sizable yard, comes with a nice big grass field for just over $500,000, and then has roadways going into other fields. So there's other options for starting up farms on here. I don't think this is an overly good start from scratch map. 400, yeah, there's 411, 420. You could possibly buy that farm up there, start from scratch, and then borrow all the money to get the equipment or lease the equipment. But yeah, this is mostly a new farmer or farm manager kind of level starting map, and I don't think that's a problem. You can build your way up, but I think where this really has its strength is if you go with a sizable amount of money and some big equipment to start, or just the new farmer startup. And we'll go for the go through the equipment for that a bit later on. Production wise, this map has a ton of productions and a ton of custom productions as well. We had this with the other map that got released alongside this one yesterday. Both have a load of custom productions in, and I love it. We've got apple pie, you know, it's American staple apple pie. The biogas plant is not something you have to purchase with the land, which is something that I have been really criticizing some maps for recently. No, the production for the biogas plant is separate from its land, and you can do that. We've got a corn dryer that produces dried corn, which is fantastic and has a use for propane on this map. We've got a dairy that doesn't seem to have anything extra in, but still good to see that in. We've got a grain mill that also produces corn flour and fine corn flour. We've got ketchup production, which absolutely fantastic, a use for tomatoes. We've got a pizzeria that takes flour, ketchup, and cheese. So again, a use for that new production. We've got popcorn production as well, which uses the dried corn. And we've got a sawmill, and we've got a tailor shop. Absolutely fantastic. No owned productions to start off on here, so it is these. But this is a brilliant array of productions. Absolutely loving that. That is utterly fantastic. So we are off to a really strong start on here. This map is looking beautifully detailed. It looks like it's got a huge amount of playability in it. And we are going to take the Super Duty now and have a drive around this map. And just see if the quality that we've seen so far in this is going to continue on through it. And so, yeah, we'll have a drive down here. Have a look around the yard first before we do a big counterclockwise loop. We have what looks like a fairly large cow area, I think that is in there. Oh no, that's a workshop. So that's workshop. That is the only thing that you have to download for this map. We've got a horse area over here, a custom built horse paddock. We've got sheep over here, and it looks like you start with animals on here. So we've got sheep and goats, and then we've got cows as well. I think the only thing you don't start with on the starting farm is pigs. And I'm just double checking that. Cow barn, horse stables, sheep and goats, chicken coop, and 3 fields you start with as well. So yeah, the only thing you don't start with on here is pigs. But there is space. If you wanted to put a pig pen in here and add all the animals, you could absolutely do that on this yard. We then have a shed over here with a load of equipment. That header gives you an idea of the combine we're looking at on here. So yeah, really, really lovely starting farm. Very beautifully made. Looking absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Such a great setup to give you an idea of what this map is all about. It is so much big machines and big farming on here. So we're going to have a drive around and have a look. We've got custom bridges and things. The edges of the fields have these sort of large ditches down them. Which is very cool. I'm liking the road edges here. Now I had a map recently which I criticized a little bit for the road edges being a little plain, and I said at the time on it, our American roadsides kind of this plain, and this is the reason why, because I've had maps like this before where there's not a huge amount of stuff on the roadsides, but there is detail, and we have got detail on this map. And this is the thing. This map has a ton of detail all over the place and just looks amazing because of it. And all it is just these little flowers and things around the edges. That is the BGA. It is not huge, and there are no silage clamps with it, which is a good reason as to why it's not purchasable with the land. There is a train that goes through the middle of this. It is a usable train as well, which is absolutely fantastic. There's a farmyard up here. We spoke about this a minute ago. And that is a smaller starting farm if you want to start up that way. Edge of the map is looking pretty good, actually. That disappears off into the distance without any sudden drop off the edge or any real bad look to it. So I'm liking that a lot. We've got some patches going onto the bridge. That's quite cool. And yeah, this is just a lovely wide open space that is an interesting map. You get a lot of American maps that just end up looking fairly dull sometimes, and this is not that. This is a really lovely, really interesting map to look at, with lots of details sort of scattered in and around. We got the patches on the road, we got the bushes around the sides, we got the way that the sides slope away from the roads. If we just stop here a bit and have a look, we've got a bit of detail. I was going to say we've got a little bit of detail under the trees. We've got bushes and things growing in the airy spaces between. We've got a lot of grass underneath. This isn't a massively forestry area, so I can kind of forgive that. I don't think there are any massively forestry areas on this map, though. That's the thing. It's not a massive forestry map, this. There's a bit in the middle and a bit sort of down by 37. We might go and have a little look at that a bit later. We've got the sawmill up there, so there is the ability to do some forestry work if you want to. We've got the repairable grain tower here, grain mill here. So that's pretty cool. We've got a fixing or a building job that you can do on this map. Loving that that's been brought across. Absolutely fantastic to see that in here. Just really well thought out. And this is the thing. If it had been a straight convert from 22, there would be none of this in here. There'd be none of this extra detail. There'd be none of the new features. And it's a map that's not only been converted, but updated for FS25. And I love that. I absolutely love that. That just, there's more thought gone into it. There's more effort gone into it as a result, and it's a better map for it. There's the ketchup production in there. We also had another production back that way a little bit as well. Up here, we've got a sell point around the back. Yeah, we've got a sell point around the back there. In fact, that is the animal market right there. So that's really nice. We then come back out this way here, and we've got a whole load of sell points. The town here is custom built as well, which just, again, adds so much character to this map. We've got the supermarket sell point there. We've got the hardware Bob's sell point there. We've got a whole load of, looks like a whole load of sell points and bits over here. I don't quite know what that is, but that is looking very nice. The shop is around here somewhere. We've got the bakery over there. Ah, yeah, we've got the shop. The shop is in here, I think. No, that's a production facility now. The shop used to be here on the previous one, and I know that stuff spawns from the shop over there, but I don't know where the shop itself actually is anymore on this map, which is really interesting. I don't know if that even exists anymore. I'm just going to go around the front here and see if we can see anything. It was round here. So this building here, yeah, here we go, Alma Vehicle Trader. So this is the shop here, and then the spawn point for all of your vehicles and everything on this map are down the back here, and the other side of this fence here. So there's a very nice large spawn point for vehicles over here, which fantastic. That works very, very well, especially as this is a map where you're gonna have big equipment, so having a big area for that to come is great. We've got, looks like, what, a propane purchase point there, or sell point possibly. And then I'm just gonna go around here, because down here this is the loading and unloading point for the train around here as well. So yeah, you have the train can all be done on here too. which is fantastic. I love that the train has been incorporated into this map too. Really, really love this town. This town has so much character to it, has so much life to it. Really feels like the area that it's trying to represent. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love this map. I love this map when I played it in 22, and it just seems to have got better for FS25. Now we're gonna have a quick peek in here at one of the other yards just to compare it to the main yard. Now this one seems to mainly be cows, and I think if you buy this land you get the cows with it, which is great. We've got a fairly large area here. We've got 2 cow sheds. We've got a Nissan hut. We've got a barn, and I think over the other side here there might be a house. Yes, we've got a house over here with a garage. This is a custom house to this map. Absolutely fantastic. Just so well done, this. And so unique. And just such a brilliantly made map. We are so spoiled for choice in FS25. We've had so many absolutely awesome maps, and as I said in the last map review I did, I think we get to 50 maps in FS25 and I will do a top 10, and I'll pick the 10 best maps out of the first 50 released or on the mod hub, or the first 50 that I do a tour of, and we'll go through them, and because we have some amazing maps being produced. The level of quality in so many of these maps has been brilliant, and I've been surprised by so many, and there's some that are maps that I love anyway and have come back to Farm Sim with 25, and some of them like this have been improved and made even better. So yeah, that is a quick loop around this map. What a map. What a wonderful piece of work that this map is. Absolutely love it. So let's have a look then at the equipment that we get on this map. We have quite a few bits of equipment, no working hours on it, and all of it in perfect condition. We've got an Anderson Group RBM 2000 bale stacker, a Case IH Puma 260 CVX drive tractor, a Fairsin PF 2.24 plus mixing wagon, a Flegel Ruby 2000 bucket. Now I think this is a mulching bucket. I think this might turn sugar beet into chopped sugar beet. I don't know if it does much else, but yeah, seems to take everything. We've got a John Deere 3650 tractor, a John Deere 8R 370 tractor, a John Deere C16F corn header, a John Deere C44-1R combination baler, John Deere HD 45X header, John Deere Pickup 900 weight, in fact 2 of those. We've got a John Deere S7 900 combine harvester, a Cramp Ram Body AS 750 plus trailer, a Kverneland Optima RS planter, a Karcher HDS 9/18-4M pressure washer. In fact, we have 2 of those right next to each other. I think I would probably end up selling one of those. They both seem to be down by the shop. A Cockling Ultima 800 Cedar, a Lizard Super Duty. In fact, no, that's my Lizard Super Duty, so that I added that in. A Nardi N60-45 header trailer, a Quickie Q6M front loader, a Sam's KDD 941 STH butterfly mower, a Sam's KDF 341S front mower, a Sam's P-890 tedder, and a Sam's Z2-840H windrower. And then finally, we've got a 10-winkle top 450 weight. So all in all, that's a pretty good range of equipment on here. I think for your setup, your startup, that is a really nice set of equipment. I think that will get you started on here very well. And get you stuck into these really big fields. I think, again, this is a great map. If you're after something for bigger equipment that you can get maybe the Nexat out on and attack some big fields, I think this is a fantastic map for that. If you want to do some big farm multiplayers, I think this is a great map for that as well. Either single farm with multiple people on it, or up to 3 farms separate that have a few people on it. I think either of those work well on here, and I think it is a cracking map for both of those. So yeah, I highly recommend this map. Go over to the mod hub. It is available for PC and Mac, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X. Go download it, come play it. It is a fantastic map. And let me know what you think down in the comments. You've heard what I have to say about this. Now I want to hear what you have to say. And then I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. Huge thank you as well to all of my patrons and channel members. These videos are only made possible thanks to your support. If you want more from Virtual Farmer, please check out the videos on screen now or subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.